welcome again to my channel. So I know it's been a minute since I filmed anything. I think I just, moving to a new country and getting settled in, and my boyfriend arriving, and trying not to be awkward with someone else in the house while filming made me not want to film. But part of this video is going to talk about my bookish resolutions for 2018, and one of them, not to jump right in, but one of them is my cat, who you see in my Bookstagram posts, definitely just jumped on the cat tower that is holding up the tripod that's holding up my iPad. She didn't knock it over, so that's nice. So as I was saying, one of my bookish resolutions for 2018 is to film one video a week. So that is gonna start this video. So today I'm gonna talk about my bookish resolutions for 2018, and I'm gonna talk about my January TBR. I am about to leave for the US to watch the Georgia Bulldogs hopefully beat Alabama in the national championship. If you don't know, I'm a UGA grad, so I'm super, super, super excited. I definitely almost cried over that football game. But I'm going to watch them play, and so I have like a 12-hour journey or something, so I'll have lots of time to read, which is super exciting. So I might actually be able to read more than is on my TBR. So let's first talk about my bookish resolutions of 2018. So this is the planner that came in the December Owl Crate book box, and if you have it, if you don't, it's super cool. It has like a book log, and it has a weekly planner as well, and it also has a monthly calendar, see? And so I'm trying to use it, so see, like, this is my books hauled for actually December, and then when I'm gonna start and finish books. And I already have some books read and reviews and stuff. So I wrote down my bookish goals, if I can find them, is to film one book video a week. Mainly, I'm gonna do book reviews, I think, because I can't really do hauls. The way to get mail here is kind of strange. So by the time I haul something, it's practically the next month. And so I don't know, there's not really a point to hauling. Gru's making a lot of noise because there's something over there. I might have to kick him out. Gru, you need to, nope, he's gonna try and be in the video. He loves being in pictures and videos. My two other kind of generic, broad bookish goals are to restart my book blog as well. I've actually renamed my WordPress blog to be consistent with this booktube and my Instagram, and I've also created a new Twitter handle, so everything now matches, and so I'm trying to be more in with everything in bookish social media. So book videos, book blogs. I'd like to read more diverse books. So I feel like 2018 was a year that people really focused on diversity and how we need more diversity in books. And as I was looking over the books that I do have, I noticed that while I have a lot of women main characters of books I read, which are I like, there's still not women of color. Or there's not necessarily much color in the book story in general. A lot of the books I have do have pretty diverse sexual orientation, but not necessarily people of color. So I definitely want to start reading books written by diverse authors and that have a diverse cast of characters. So let's hope I can do that. I think there's just more and more books that have just really diverse characters. The rest of my goals are more monthly specific, as in the books that I want to be reading. I have another notebook. I don't know where I got this. I think I got it in, it's definitely in a crate. I think maybe it was one of the like geek crates I got. I got like 2 of those a while back. So I have, right now I've been keeping this for my book battles. I'll show you when I get to that part. But I also have my monthly reading goals. So I have 4 monthly reading goals, so books that I want to read, kinds of books that I want to read. So I hardly had any rereads last year. I think the only thing I reread was A Court of Thorns and Roses and A Court of Mist and Fury, purely because ACOWAR was coming out. And I remember watching someone's YouTube booktube video, and they were talking about the importance of rereads and how we read to find books that we really enjoy, and then making sure that we go back and reread those books. And I was like, it's a really good point. I don't know the last time I reread something. So I'd like to reread at least one book a month. It's really hard to do that, honestly, because there are just so many books. There's so many books. And you're constantly getting new ones, and I have like 100 that I need to read on my shelf. So it's hard to then justify rereading one, but it's important. So 1 reread a month. I also want to read 1 ebook a month. I have like 200 ebooks, and I hardly read ebooks. So I don't even know where to begin with my ebooks. I have so many. I have double ebooks because I forget I bought one. So I'd like to get through my Kindle and my Nook apps and read all those books. Then I want to read 1 older book and 1 new book. So 1 new book, obviously I haven't read, or like maybe the one that's come in the most recent Owl Crate or Litjoy Crate or whatever I get. But then also an older book, as in like a classic. So I have like 1984 and A Stranger in a Strange Land, or The Work of Sherlock Holmes. It's a book like that that I want to incorporate in, that I feel like I need to incorporate some of those classics. I've read a lot of the classics, like I've read all of Jane Austen, I've read Jane Eyre, Shakespeare. I've read a lot of older ones, but I still have a lot that I need to read, so that's going to be on my monthly goals as well. So as I said, I've been participating in a lot of book battles. I have 2 Facebook groups I'm part of, and that's Life and Lit and the unofficial Owl Crate Book Club, which has a Facebook page, its own, called Book Battle. And they set up a lot of book challenges that change monthly, and they rack up points and your team tries to win. I haven't been on a winning team yet. This is only my 3rd month. I like doing these because it helps me be like, okay, these are the books I'm gonna read. And it gets me through my TBR instead of just going over to my shelf and being like, which of these books will I read? I like kind of having a plan. It's nice. And I've read, each time I've done this, I've read like 12 books a month plus. So I clearly get a lot more done. January Book Battle, I'm on Team Past. Shout out Team Past. And the criteria are as follows. My first book in a series, I am going to read Mistborn by Brandon Sanderson. I have heard a ton about this book, especially from people who like high fantasy and whatnot, and how have I not read this book? I don't know. It's been in my TBR, I think, for the last like 2 months, and I have actually the whole series, or I think we have 3 books in this series, and the cover looks like it has an awesome woman on the front, so I need to read this. I'm super excited. I think I'm gonna really like this. So the second criteria is book by your favorite author. So for this one, I am going to do my 1 reread a month. That is Magic's Pawn by Mercedes Lackey. Look at the spine. Look at it. I wish you could smell it. It smells like it's an old book. I've had this, I think, since middle school, maybe early high school. So this book is probably like 15 years old, now that I say that. This is a book that most people that know Mercedes Lackey, they really like this series, the trilogy of this one. And this is the first one of that. And this is a story about Vaniel. And he has a lot of issues. He's working through, and there's so much drama. There's so much drama. I've actually finished it. I finished it today, and I forgot just how much drama there is. I feel like this is actually not my favorite in this trilogy. I think the last one is my favorite. But maybe if I get through my TBR, I'll finish the trilogy this month, or I'll keep doing it the following months. So this was my book by my favorite author. So the third criteria is male POV. and I have a feeling I might regret this one, but that is Morning Star by Pierce Brown. And this is the third book of the Red Rising series. This looks, I don't know how many pages this is. Oh, okay, maybe it's big type. It's only like 506 pages. I'm a little daunted. Frankly. And I'm wondering if I should do like a Percy Jackson, just because it'll be an easier read. I feel like the Red Rising trilogy for me, I don't know. I feel like it's a tough read in the sense of I feel like it's deep. Or maybe it's his writing style. I'm not sure, but like it's kind of rough. I like it, and I really like the mythology and all that comes into play, but it's kind of rough. And I'm reading this one finally so that if I get the fourth one, Iron Gold, I believe it's called, which I think just came out or is just about to come out, if I get that so I can finish the series. I think that's the last one. So the fourth criteria is book owned but not read. And for that one, I am doing Six of Crows by Leigh Bardugo. This has been on my TBR since October or something, and I need to read it. I want to read it, so I need to get through it. My TBR is actually fairly small this month because I think it's a casual book battle, so there's not as many criteria. So I want to get through this. I need to get through this. I'm gonna do this one. The fifth criteria is book out in 2017. I don't have it to show you because it's The Hate U Give, and I finished that a couple days ago actually, and I immediately lent it out to someone because I have so many feelings. I have so many feelings about the book, and when I get it back from this person, hopefully next week or the following, then I'm gonna do a book review because we gotta talk about this book. We gotta talk about it. So, so I finished that one. I can't show it. Maybe I'll put something here. The Hate U Give. I think most people have probably seen it, but if you haven't, go and buy it right now. Read it right now. So the book battles also have the club reads, and the club reads are the books that have come in previous Owl Crates, and including the one that came out in December for Owl Crate. So, and that book is Foolish Hearts by Emma Mills. Oh my gosh, I had no idea she's the one who she wrote First and Then. Okay, I'm gonna love this book. I really hope I love this book. I did not know she wrote First and Then. I'm terrible with authors. I loved First and Then. It's a retelling of Pride and Prejudice, which is one of my favorite books, and I loved it, so now I am super excited about this book. I've heard pretty good things. I'm now super excited. This might have to be my next read. So the next two criteria are actually club reads number 2 and 3, and I don't actually have any of those books or the other ones that were on there, like ones they've already read and have read recently, so I don't want to read them. I'm really trying not to buy too many books because I have so many and my boyfriend judges me a lot. So I'm trying not to buy any, but if I can find, maybe a Kindle deal or a Nook deal, then I might go ahead and do it. But it would probably be A Madness So Discreet, and I don't even remember the other one. So the second to last criteria is a book with time travel. And someone that is in Team Pass recommended to me Passenger by Alexandra Bracken. And I was super excited for that because I have it on my shelf. So, I don't know, it's something that's time travel and boats to New York and then like a pirate ship. I don't know what it's about. I've heard good things about it. I bought it. Apparently it's time travel. And finally, the last book criteria is books set in a time period. So my team, of course, is past. A lot of these I think are set in the past. Maybe like 5 out of the 8 or something. I can't count. But I'm specifically choosing a not fantasy past, but like a real past. And then one of my the other book club I mentioned to you, the Life and Lit, or the other Facebook group, they do club reads as well. The Hate U Give was one, but they're also doing Holocaust reads. And so in order to be able to talk about that and also fulfill the book in the past, I decided to go with Codename Verity by Elizabeth Wine. So I've heard really good things about this. And I also have the second one, I don't know if it's a sequel, but Rose Under Fire. I know that it's set in World War II, and there's a pilot, like a female pilot, And I think it says she's a female pilot. Yeah, I don't know. It looks really intense. I feel like it's gonna be really intense and whatnot. So I'm really excited to finally read this. That's all the books that I have actually set on my TBR. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 total. That's not that many. I've been reading, I read 91 books last year. So I'm trying to read about 8 or 9 a month. But if I do have more time, I think I'd like to get to these 3 books, which were on my TBR for last month that I never finished. So Flame in the Mist, The Last Magician, and Long May She Reign. These are going to be the next ones that I pick up, I think, if I have more time on my TBR. Ooh. And Language of Thrones by Lee Bardugo, I think, too. I feel like that'll be a really quick read, and again, it has all the beautiful pictures. So thanks for watching. I have a really long flight ahead of me, both there and back. So I'm hoping that I can get a ton of reading done while I'm there. And let's see what goes on. And hopefully next week, my video will be a book review of maybe like 2 of the books I've read so far this month. So look forward to seeing you then. Bye.